Hello everyone and welcome to Purple Table Tarot. I'm your host Robin, and today we're going to be reading for the water signs. We're going to be reading for Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So I'll start off with Pisces, and we're going to be doing, this is the general reading for Pisces for the week of April 19th, and we'll just get right into it. Okay, what do we have for Pisces for this week? What are some messages that we can give Pisces? What kind of invitations do we need to see? What kind of energies are important to pay attention to this week? Maybe you'll find that this reading reflects something that you already have in mind, which is very true. And that's a lot of the times that's the way it happens. So I think sometimes with the tarot, when we watch our weekly reading, it can give us a little bit more insight on what we're up against, kind of like what's on our mind and on our heart, and then maybe show us things that we hadn't considered, and just maybe giving us some insight to the outcome. Okay, well, let's get started. I usually like to start off by just pulling a 3 card, and then if I feel like there needs to be more on the story, then we'll kind of it just kind of unfolds from there. Okay, thanks. Oh wow. So right away we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Princess of Pentacles, and Temperance. So this could be a relationship, but it could be a working partnership. There is definitely an energy of stability with regard to the, well, the Knight and the Princess are actually like counterparts. They're not quite the King and the Queen. And so there is still an evolution that needs to happen here with this energy. A lot of the times the Queen and the King will signify being at the top of your game with regard to the Pentacles. And with Pentacles, it's really about stability and patience and working. And what kind of seeds are you also planting? Like, what is it? What kind of goal do you have in mind right now with regard to your stability and like just your very practical life plan? So there could be some of you Pisces out there that are kind of pinning down your practical life plan. Okay. And so with the Knight of Pentacles here, it's such a beautiful card and such a beautiful energy. There are crystals all around the base of him, which, you know, pentacles are of the earth and crystals are of the earth as well. And so there's just a sturdiness about this energy, and a lot of drive. Like, whatever this endeavor is for you Pisces, it is something that you are really moving toward. It is something that you're very passionate about. It's something that you can throw not all caution to the wind by any means, but with the Knight energy, you're going to be making swift decisions. and you're going to go forward and trust in what you're doing. And I'm getting that adage come up in my mind now, like, what is that one? It says, it's easier to ask for forgiveness. It's like don't ask for permission, just ask for forgiveness. So it's basically like, whatever you're going to do, you're going to move forward and you're going to do it. And then you have a pretty confident vibe that it's going to work out, which is great. It's good to have that fire behind you, and it's good to have that confidence, which the Knight is. The Knight is very confident in all the suits. However, given the possibility of being a little bit on the impulsive side, there could be a mistake. So the idea is that, you know, you don't worry about mistakes, and like, if something happens where you do need to ask for forgiveness, then do that. I don't know, and it just like, the whole thing just like came up for me now. But either way, you're passionate about this new endeavor you got going on, which is cool. And you're moving towards it with a lot of fervor. And so then the Princess of Pentacles, like, you know, I imagine that you very well may come up, meet another person who shares the same passion. Maybe this will be another person who is in the field of which you're trying to break some ground and get into. And this could be somebody that is like a divine counterpart to you. You can learn a lot from one another. So if you are choosing a new endeavor, a new business, and there are people in the field that come forward, and or even people that you just meet for the first time that come forward, that's good. That's good. Connect with them. Go do lunch. I mean, go pick each other's brains, and you know, you could learn a lot. You would just learn so much from each other, you know, in community. And something that I just love about this card as well is like the Princess of Pentacles here. She's surrounded by like all these animals. So there's just all kinds of woodland creatures, and there's some fairies, and and it's just a really good little woodland garden party happening here. Oh, that's really cool. Whatever this is, it's very positive. It's very positive. And seeing as Pentacles are the suit of stability, they're also the suit of patience. Because as we sow the seeds, it's just not going to sprout overnight. We got to do all the things that we got to do to make our seeds grow. It needs some good warmth and sunlight. It needs some water. You need to tend to it, right? You need to tend to it. So the pentacles are also about work, also about hard work. You're not just gonna make an idea and make an idea to do something and just like kind of leave it to chance. Like, you need to get your skin in the game here, and being patient. I have some temperance. You have to be patient for your idea and your endeavor to grow and to gain traction. Yeah. You know, this is good. This is really good. Because definitely there's a positive energy here, you know, because you have this idea, and then you're going to be coming out with community members, and then getting help and learning from each other and teaching one another, and then having patience for the whole thing to kind of it's kind of like a train going on the track, you know. It's like starting off a little bit slow, and then it gets up to speed, and it gains momentum. So I definitely want to see more of this story for sure. All right. And the next is the 10 of Cups, which is like, how awesome is that? You have an idea. You're patient. It looks like you're definitely being divinely guided and heading in the right direction with this idea, Pisces, because as you're having patience, like some other things are coming in as well. And it's the 10 of Cups energy. So You're going to find a lot of happiness with this endeavor. You might even meet another, you know, who knows, maybe this is your divine counterpart, or maybe you meet somebody else during this time that has either something to do with your business or nothing to do with your business. It's just the 10 of Cups is like, you know, your cup runneth over with positive vibes. I mean, look at this. You're basically encircled in a rainbow, you know. It's like the best. So that's really good. That's really good. It's abundance. It's abundance, and you're also sharing. You're feeling really good about it. Feeling really good about it. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful energy. It's 10 of Cups. It's like, you know, it's wonderful. Okay. And then, so it looks like we have the Devil after that. And so typically with the Devil, we have some sort of like dependency. Or some sort of like clinging. I think like what this is trying to say as I say, you know, clinging, is there's so many good things happening, right? You're on your path and you are in alignment with your truth and you are in the flow. Like this reading to me feels like you're totally in the flow. And then we get this and it's like, okay, that's not bad. I mean, but it's just something that I think is like, okay, we'll be aware of, because sometimes like too much of a good thing can leave us thinking that everything needs to be good. And sometimes, you know, say you have your 10 of Cups here, right? And so this can be, like I said, a relationship may or may not have anything to do with this business, but you going into this business or following this very practical goal, this idea, is going to put you in your flow. And once you're in your flow, a lot of times that's when, you know, you'll have happiness from your idea and your goal. But a lot of times when we're in our flow is when other people are really attracted to us. And so then you can find that you are drawing others in. And that feels fantastic. You know, it feels beautiful and alive, and spring is happening right now and the sun is shining, and you know, and then so you just have to be careful about having anyone take you out of your flow, because the thing is that your flow is you and who you are and where you need to be, and you're riding your wave of life, and you can have other passengers on your wave, okay? And that's wonderful. And if you find that you're beginning to like question what you're going to do, or like second guess yourself in your goals or in your relationships because of like what somebody else is thinking, or you know, just you want to if ever you become aware of that happening for you, it's probably best to just press the pause button on yourself and check in with yourself, and reminding yourself that any kind of success that you have in your life, or with your business or an endeavor, or a love relationship of any kind, is going to withstand you being true to yourself and being yourself. And there's always enough room for you and for anything else that you want to invite into your life. But don't fall into the trap of becoming rigid around success and how success needs to look like, because this looks very successful, and sometimes when we're very successful, it can be difficult to accept a setback. So just be aware of that. You know, you definitely want to have confidence, but not too much confidence where you're rigid in that and then you can't be flexible. because if you can't be flexible, then you can break. So let's see here. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers for this for sure. You know, and it's like Temperance and the Devil are on either side of the Ten of Cups. And the Temperance is right in the middle of a very practical and successful endeavor and a relationship. So I think it's good to be patient with yourself and be patient with your, be patient with yourself, be patient with your goals, and be patient with other people, and also be circumspect. Like the Temperance, she has 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Okay? And not to say that you need to go in and half-ass anything, whether it's your goals or your relationship, but you just want to be I guess keep your wits about you, because the the Devil popped up for a reason, and we're going to clarify that. So it's like, yeah, everything's coming up roses and is right on track, and then that, and it's not necessarily a bad card. It can also be telling you not to get too bogged down in your own thoughts about your flow. You know, like I was saying before, you know, because sometimes when we are very successful, then we say, that's it, that's what needs to happen all the time. And then if it doesn't happen like that all the time, then we can kind of go down the rabbit hole and think that there's some kind of failure. So I feel like I want to clarify the Devil first. Okay. So there's Justice. And so I'm thinking that that is like, there's going to be fairness in whatever it is that's going on. I still don't know. It's hard for me to create a narrative. I mean, but there is a narrative here with this. It looks like it might be coming up with a relationship. Another possibility here is that maybe you go into business with a partner. I mean, not necessarily a love partner, but you go into business with another person. That's a possibility too. Well, either way, you know, at this point, whatever is going to be, whatever is coming to pass is definitely going to be fair and steeped in truth. And there's finding balance. Yes. Yes. Because like I said, the Temperance is center stage in this reading right here. And her foot is 1 in and 1 out. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Okay? And so I think that I think what you're being invited to, excuse me, I think the energy you are being invited to embrace in the next week and beyond, and whenever you see this will be the right time, but the energy you're being invited to embrace is that of balance. Balance in your mind, balance within yourself, balance between your practical needs and your emotional needs, just really holding space for all things, and don't get too like wrapped up in, you know, whatever kind of like delicious lovely, enticing, and decadent things that might come your way. don't let it make you lose sight of all of the pieces of your life, because you need to keep balance happening. Keep some balance happening with your approach and all this stuff, because things are good. Things are good. But sometimes too much of a good thing can distract you from the other things. All right. So then we got the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is like a truth will be revealed. So just keep your eye out. And it's interesting that that would be pulled on this aspect of the reading, because I feel like this isn't come to pass yet. So it's kind of, there's something about this that's like, okay, well, you're here, but you're moving this way, you know? Like this is a mystery still of what's going on, what's up. But it's major, it's big, because there's two major arcana right here. And it's coming right on the heel of the Ten of Cups. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna pick a clarifier for these things. I'm just gonna put more clarifiers down. Yeah, you know, don't be afraid to walk away. If you're also being invited to walk away from something, because I also pulled this like after the Two of Swords, which I think like this deck, it's a separate deck, you know, and it may be telling us another story. But since you do have your wits about you and you have your balance and you are living in the flow, keep your eyes open to things that might be put up in a pretty package, like things that are very exciting and delicious, but could possibly not serve your best interest, or might not be as deep as you think that they are, or might not be as long-term rewarding as they could be, or, you know, don't have much of a very strong foundation in what is going to carry you forward in a healthy way. So you need to be, you know, you got to have your inner diplomat. You got to listen to your inner guide. Let me look at this. It looks like she's holding a pomegranate with a skeletal hand. What? I've never seen that. I've never noticed that before. Whoa. So there's like, you know, some definite Persephone. What? Okay, look. So I pulled the Devil, okay? And then my first clarifier was the Justice card. And as I'm reading this right now, I see, you know, and I put her down right below there, and she's holding a pomegranate. And the pomegranate is associated with Persephone, you know, the queen of the underworld, you know, for at least, what, like 6 months out of the year? 3 months out of the year? But her hand, her skin, in her left hand, her flesh is removed from her bones. In the hand that has the flesh removed from the wrist down is holding the pomegranate. And she's holding the scales up in front. And she's got justice and balance, and there's a wheel over her head, over the top, over her crown chakra. She's got the wheel. So the wheel is turning, you know, and it's like just as the seasons, just as everything has its season, and everything, you know, as the seasons change, the ecosystem is in balance, right? You know, and then because it's like it's constantly it's just evolving with itself every day. You know, we have like the spring gives way to summer, and then just everything is on a cycle, and it's all in divine timing. And then you have, so there's like the wheel, everything's coming around, and so there's this balance that you're being reminded of, and then this temptation to be aware of, because in the left hand there can be a death at any time, you know, and there's like a skinning of the hand. See, that's kind of a trip. That's a real trip. I'd never seen that before. And that symbolism, the bare bones, the bare bones. Maybe getting down to the bare bones of the truth. Getting down to the bare bones of the truth, and then walking away from what it is. Like if you come to discover that a part of the truth is that something about the situation doesn't serve you anymore, then you can walk away from that. Because after all, I mean, being in the flow of everything and just living in alignment with your truth, you're going to be aware of these things as they come. And I think that sometimes we can kind of be like, and like go back and forth because, you know, maybe we're not ready to see the truth, or maybe we feel like we need a little bit more confirmation. But there's something big, something big over here. It's like sunshine and rainbows, and then it goes dark. I have no idea what is going on. Okay, so then you have the Nine of Cups, Eight of Cups, Nine of Cups. You walked away from something, and then it was like more of a wish fulfillment, and an invitation to make your own happiness, to create your own happiness. Like, you know, as far as the Devil card is concerned, there can be a dependency upon a particular thing that that gives us temporary pleasure of some kind. And so it would appear as though you're being asked or being invited to walk away from that once you discover that it's not serving you anymore, because then you're on to, you know, greener pastures, you creating a life of your own making, creating happiness of your own making. And I think that this is also inviting you to stay aware. To stay aware and to stay focused. So you're able to recognize when things aren't as they seem. But she's also a very strong, this person, this maiden here is very, very strong. She's a warrior. Standing in the snowy mountains, but like looking out on the horizon. I feel like I feel like I want to give you some more, because let's pull more. So on the Knight of Pentacles, over here on this side of Temperance, you have the King of Pentacles. So you're being invited to grow in this, trajectory. I really feel like this reading is to tell you that it's important for you to keep your eyes on the prize, basically. Like, there are things in our own life that we can be in charge of, that we can be the master and commander of, like with regard to our own shit, which is our goals, the plants or the seeds that we plant, and like, what kind of life do we want to create for ourselves? Those things we can have more power over. We don't have power over what somebody else does. And it looks like somewhere over here, something is coming in that can give you some confusion, and can feel can feel as though you need to just keep your eyes, keep your wits about you, and stay balanced. Strengthen and focus on your goals, like your practical life right now. And don't get too attached to, or I should say, not too attached, because, you know, attachment is natural for all of us, and we all have different styles of attachment. But I think what this is more asking you or inviting you to do is stay mindful of yourself and stay grounded in your own shoes. We can share when we reap whatever we sow, we can share that with anyone. But we also don't need to make ourselves somebody else in order to be accepted. Like, basically, this is inviting you to hang on to yourself throughout this experience. And because sometimes I know that when we get like this 10 of Cups experience that comes around, and we were just in the flow and everything was just like, you're like a rock star, and then someone comes around, and it's a very common thing. You can get really wrapped up in this new person and start to neglect your original goal, whether it be a business or you know, and you want to still pay attention to your friends and your community. You know, you can't just get completely wrapped up in whoever this is, because you need to have balance in your life. You need to have balance in your life. And I will say this, anyone who's going to begrudge you of that doesn't have your back or your best interest. Like, if you're living along your life, you're in the flow, this person wants to be in your flow too, and they're also going to have their own flow. Great. You know, but if there's anyone that ever comes around and tries to tell you or try to convince you or manipulate you into giving up your flow and getting it, and just kind of like possessive or something like that, no. Anybody who is with you is gonna honor your path and share it with you and feel okay that you're sharing that with them, and they're going to have their own life to live as well. It'll just be, you know, harmonious rather than any kind of weird controlling. So kind of the second layer of with regard to that, what this reading is inviting you to do is to stay focused on your practical goal. You know, you're going to be evolving to the King of Pentacles, you know, and the King of Pentacles is a very stable, very successful energy. Very stable and very successful energy. But the King of Pentacles also has to watch out for those who say, you know, come out of the woodwork Like, hey, you know, once you're rolling deep, they're like, can I borrow some money? You're like, no, no. Whatever, man. You wanted to lend a little bit of money, you can, but, you know, don't hold your breath on getting paid back. Like, I don't know why I just kind of went there. So let's see what else we got. So Judgment too. Wow, there's all kinds of major arcana in this, especially in the clarifiers, which is kind of a trip. I mean, it feels to me that, and this is like definitely beyond beyond next week. Like, all this is not happening in a week. Okay, so, you know, I think I'm gonna probably, like, at some point maybe just cap this with a nice little oracle card pretty soon here, because I'm just like, dang, this is just going on. But yeah, the major arcana, when that's popping up, says like big things are going to be happening. Like, if you think about it, this honestly could be the beginning of I mean, because it is, we're still in the beginning part of the year. We're just starting the fourth month, second quarter. Yeah. But the year just still feels early to me. I mean, it's mid-April and it's going by so it's going by so fast. Honestly, this is just an aside. I feel like we just started this new year. We're almost like halfway in. I don't know, but either way, my point is that there's a lot of major milestones happening here. Okay? There's the beginning of a new business, an evolution of your character with regard to that business, evolution of your an upward growth and mindset with regard to the way that you manage your money and manage your success and manage your plans and stability, which I think is boss. That's boss, man. So that's great. And I think, like, with Temperance being in the middle right here, like, it's just, I mean, look at her. She's got like these wings, these rainbow wings, and it's Aquarius energy too. It's Aquarius energy too. So maybe there's an Aquarius coming into your life. Maybe that it's the Aquarius that will be your Ten of Cups partner. But there's positivity. It's very positive. And then there seems to be, like, maybe not a full-on shift, because I don't see any major loss happening. I think that this part of the reading is really just inviting you to, like I said, that term, keep your wits about you. Stay balanced. And know that you are the master and commander of your own ship, that you can go wherever you think you need to go, and when you need to go, if you need to go. Like, you have the ability to recognize if something isn't serving you anymore, and you have the ability to make your own happiness. So it's all positive. It's all positive here. And then that ended up leading us to the Judgment. The last card that I pulled was another major arcana. So you have Temperance, the Devil, Justice, and Judgment. 14, 15, 11, and 20. 11 can reduce down to a 2. Judgment can reduce down to a 2. So I think, you know, this is inviting you to be patient and be discerning. And Judgment, you know, Judgment, this card, this woman is bathing in a giant cauldron. Well, I shouldn't say bathing, it's more like she's cooking. She's cooking in a giant cauldron, and you know, the fire is very hot underneath, but there's like an exaltation, and it almost appears as though there's this hand of fate. There's this hand of fate coming out of the middle. And I can't quite tell if that's a sword or if that's like a wand, because it almost looks like there's this, I mean, honestly, to be fair, to be quite honest, it looks like a dropper is what it looks like to me. But I know it's not a dropper. I mean, you know, like it's got to be a wand or a sword. You don't have droppers in the tarot. Although, who knows? Maybe there could be. We'll see. Maybe it's kind of like an anointment, you know, like a little dose, a little drop, a little medicine. And that could be it, you know, like Judgment can be medicine sometimes. But there's like some sort of exaltation coming up here with the Judgment. Like, what can you, I feel like they're more like some truth needs to be revealed here. There's too much, it's almost too vague in a way. I'm feeling not fully satiated with this reading. I want you guys to have some answers, because I feel like, you know, it's like I kind of get on to the next thing and it's just like another major arcana, and it's like, okay, come on, like, that's fabulous. Let's see, Judgment. What can you tell us about this Judgment? What's this Judgment card? What's going on here? Help me out. There's a lot going on. Maybe as I'm reading this, and there's like a, you know, sometimes what we experience, or what I experience as a reader, is kind of whatever feeling that's coming up for me can also be informative to the grand scheme of the reading. So right now I will say I'm feeling a little confused. I'm feeling a little confused. And I bet you, viewer, are feeling confused as well. So you're like, this started off really cool, and now I feel like we've gone down the dark tunnel of some interesting dark path. However, there is an like, I think that there's such a strong positive energy with the evolution of your business or of your endeavor, whatever that is. I feel like I want to pull some clarifiers for the Judgment and the Temperance here, because the Temperance, be patient for your success, be patient for your real Ten of Cups. I think I just got really thrown off by the potential addictive quality of what's on the other side of that Ten of Cups. Let's see here. Two of Pentacles. Okay. So the thing is like now I'm hearing it. And that's what I was saying before. you're going to be balancing a lot of aspects of your life. And a lot of your aspects of your life, and like I was saying before, the master and commander of your own ship, there's that little ship in the back. Those of you that are familiar with the Morgan-Greer, you'll know and see that there's a little ship, boop, right there on the back horizon. And I really like this card a lot because it's a very good reminder. It does call into the imagery of balance as well, right? You're having a lot go on in your life. You're having to balance a few aspects. You got to balance your practical goals with your, relationship goals, and also balancing your relationship to yourself, like really staying grounded in yourself as well. So I think that that's part of the judgment too, is like, what is it that's in my life that resonates with my highest good and like resonates with my goal of being balanced and being all those things. Okay, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. A lot of pentacles. That's the thing. Pentacles and cups. Work and love. Work and love. Pentacles and cups. Work and relationships. And judgment and patience and justice and the devil. Goodness gracious. So the Six of Pentacles here. So I think that that makes a lot of sense because, you're being invited to have balance, and you're juggling work and play, you're juggling work and relationships. And then here you go. Look at that. The Six of Pentacles also has the scale imagery. So the Six of Pentacles has a correlation with the Justice card. I mean, you're talking about fairness and balance when it comes to the Six of Pentacles. And there's another aspect of this, because this person is giving out the coins, right? Kind of doling out. Like there are these really big coins right behind him, and then he's like doling out some little coins, but there's a lot of value in those little coins, and there are these two hands, and the other aspect of this card is that you have a lot to give, but you don't want to give too much of yourself away. It's the sharing card, but you need to be not overshare, and it's definitely you're sharing and you're being fair, but you don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to burn yourself out. So that's what's important here. In the juggling of life, do what you need to do in order to not burn yourself out. Don't give too much of yourself away. Keep some coins for yourself, okay? Page of Cups. Because there could be a new emotional experience coming up, or just along the way. And this could also suggest that in your experience of your own emotions with regard to this endeavor, because I think what's going to happen is that you're going to be really successful very quickly. I think you're going to be successful very quickly, and then you're going to have to like call in this, because temperance isn't just patience. Like temperance is also a lot like the Six of Pentacles too, in a way where it's like needing to kind of being able to evenly navigate like the situation, just like that's the energy too. Like for example, like if you lose your temper, then you're losing control. So temperance is not only patience, but it's control. And I see here in the middle that there's a lot of control imagery, not overly controlling, but like really trying to keep things in line. And so with regard to the Page of Cups, I think throughout this entire experience, you're going to be learning a lot about yourself on an emotional level, because there's something about this that feels very, very new. And as you continue on in your evolution toward like the King of Pentacles and like getting all those ducats, you know, you need to stay in good judgment about yourself in order to also evolve on an emotional level. That's such a trip. That's such a trip. It just occurred to me, like, I put down the pentacles and then I got to this side and I laid down a card right here and it's a cups. Like this, you got, there's two, you know, you got your pet, you got your work and you got your emotion. And then we got the Two of Swords again. So, you know, having the veil lifted for like being aware, you know, seeing the truth. And it's funny because I'm like, okay, there's the two aspects of your life, you know, because it's like we see the pentacles and we got there's like this work and this relationship. And then like I pulled a Two of Swords and there's also another Two of Swords already down here. So I think that when it comes to those two aspects of your life, it's important to see clearly. I think I'm going to close this reading up. I feel like I want to keep going, but then I think it would go on for way too long. Okay, yeah, I think that's I'm gonna pull an oracle card. I'm gonna pull an oracle card for you, Pisces. I really hope that this made sense. Please like, share, and subscribe, and do leave comments. And I will say this, I'm open, you know, and that's why I call out the cards when I lay them down. Because the thing is that, like I was saying earlier on in the reading, that when we do something new, we learn from each other, right? So these people are like colleagues, business partners, like they're just of the same goals, you know what I mean? Like they're colleagues. And colleagues, a lot of people that watch tarot reading videos are also dabblers themselves. And so when I call out the cards, if there's a particular meaning that's associated with it that to you is screaming out, like with regard to the trajectory of and the order in which they're being laid down and what have you, any kind of interpretation that you make on your own as well is probably the most important, because that's the sense that you make of it. Okay, so that's really important to listen to. And I absolutely invite you to share that in the comments. I love that. I love that. I love being able to connect with people on a common shared interest and practice, and, you know, just talk about it and learn from each other. That's fantastic. So let's pick a little oracle card for you here. I have a little cap. Okay. This is really beautiful. And I feel like this is probably speaking to this side of the table. It says, I forgive and let go with loving ease. I forgive and let go with loving ease. I forgive and let go with loving ease. Remember what we were talking about with regard to your path and another person's path? I think that's very important. That's true love right there. When you can honor another person's path, that is love. Whether it's, whatever kind of box you want to put it in, honoring another person's path is love. And so, and forgiving and letting go with loving ease. The forgiveness here would indicate that somebody had, done you wrong, Pisces. Maybe that's something maybe that's a part of this. Maybe this isn't quite the future. Maybe this can also be something that you have been currently going through. Either way, that's your reading for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad that you're here, and I look forward to our next reading together, Pisces. Be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe, and watch your sun, moon, and rising to get a full picture of your week and all of those things. Thank you. Bye.